Yo, what up guys, Stickman here, welcome back to the channel. So as you probably already know, I did go for all the S ranks in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds on both Sonic Speed and Supersonic Speed, and as a result, you probably already know that I played through these tracks many different times. So I wanted to make a quick, pretty long video here discussing and showcasing all of the official, I guess, like not like crazy like skips or like breaks, but like official shortcuts and hidden routes in the tracks in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds so that you guys can get faster times in S ranks and also blast past the competition in online mode. Before we get into it, this is really important. You need to go into your options and make sure that steering assist is off, because once steering assist is enabled, you won't be able to take some of these shortcuts, so keep that in mind. Alright, without further ado, let's go. Starting out with the first track, E Stadium, probably the easiest way to get familiar with shortcuts in this game. As you probably already know, you're going to find the most obvious shortcut that you just can't miss. It's basically going to be a travel ring that opens up at the end of the third lap and allows you to skip a good chunk of the track. Oh, and by the way, in this video I'm going to avoid as much as possible talking about how boost wisps can be really helpful to cut through grass, because I assume you already know that at this point, and I'm going to try to reserve discussions for like the most important off-road sections, ones that are more out of the way. Okay, so next up is Rainbow Garden. Once again, really obvious. When you get to the third lap, this fence is going to open up, allowing you to take a quicker route through this pathway through the gazebo, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Next up is Water Palace. This one doesn't really have any shortcuts, but it does have a hidden route, although it's not really very well hidden. Basically, on lap 3 at the end of the track, you're going to notice to the right of the main ramp that you usually take, there's going to be a pathway that opens up, allowing you to grab this blue capsule, which gets you special items, which could be helpful. I don't think it's a faster route, but it could be helpful. You might get offensive items and take out the person in first place. Metal Harbor, just like SA2's Metal Harbor, where if you wanted to get the A rank, you had to take the alternate rocket route, which required more skill. The shortcut on this track requires a lot of skill. You basically have to drive off the ramp at a certain angle. I kind of recommend drifting to the left a bit while on the second arrow from the left. And that way that should help you land on this little platform at the bottom. And from there you just have to make sure you avoid the gun robot, and it's a lot faster than taking the main route. I'm telling you, this route right here is absolutely necessary if you want to get any S rank in time trials. There's also another smaller ramp afterwards, which you gotta drift a bit to the right to be able to take, and it also really helps too. I don't think Sand Road has any shortcuts from what I played, just a lot of off-road sections which can be skipped with boost wisps. There is the starting area that deviates into two paths, but honestly, just taking the main bottom route is way better than taking the top route. Now, Colorful Mall is a bit of a maze and has a lot of different routes, so it can be hard to tell which ones are faster or slower. When you get to the third lap, there's going to be a ramp and a hoop that spawns in, which allows you to take this upper area to the cinema. From what I played, taking the route in time trials helped, but I'm really not sure if it's much faster. There's also another route right here to the right when you drop down from the top level of the mall, which opens up an elevator door into a travel ring, and you might have seen my short talking about it where I mistakenly called it a shortcut. I want to clear it up. I apologize. This is not a shortcut, okay? This really slows you down actually, but it does get you a blue capsule item, so if you ever wanted some really strong items, you could still take this route. I don't know if this counts, but I found that the hoop right here actually really does help as well, so be on the lookout for that. In Mystic Jungle, I usually always start by taking the rightmost route, but there is also this hidden route which can be found right after you exit the tube section to the left, where a snake will make a path for you. I think this one will actually make you a lot faster, but the problem is getting onto it is really difficult. So I kind of recommend getting an item like a drill or like maybe even a laser or something when taking this route. Apotos has a really interesting shortcut because this one has two different ways to get to it. So number one, you could just take the boost wisp, go up the ramp, up the bridge, and then turn right and you'll be on your way. It's still faster than the main route, but I recommend instead taking a boost wisp to cut through the grass and then heading straight past the bridge, so that way you don't have to waste time in the air. And it's much easier to start drifting in advance as opposed to like falling down and trying to do the drift right away. You're definitely going to hit the wall. Wasn't able to find any shortcuts on Wonder Museum, again, aside from using boost wisps to cut through the grass. I really like the Crystal Mine shortcut, so it happens near the end of the track, which is right around this turn here, so I recommend slowing down, having a boost wisp prepared to be able to cut through the gravel to get on top of this truck right here, and using that as a ramp to get to the other side. This one can be really tricky to pull off, but hey, still easier than Metal Harbor. Now, Ocean View surprised me because up until this point, I didn't really find it until I looked back through the footage and noticed that there's an offshoot right here at the start of the track, which can be reached during lap 3. I don't think it makes you faster. I don't think this is a shortcut, but it's definitely a hidden route. Emphasis on the hidden too. This might be the most well-hidden path other than the Northstar Islands one, which we'll get to later. Ocean View also has another shortcut right around here, which I highly recommend that you break in order to be able to take. Next up is Pumpkin Mansion. Once again, this one doesn't really have any shortcuts other than the hidden route, which isn't really hidden. It's in plain sight. You're forced to take it, but still really cool. I'm really glad that they included a Hang Castle reference from Sonic Heroes. I mean, you gotta be crazy not to like Sonic Heroes references. Sonic Heroes is incredible. I'm sure nobody in the comments hates Sonic Heroes. Yeah. During lap 3, Urban Canyon will have these barriers that open up at the start of the track, allowing you to take really, really good shortcuts if you're also really, really good at the game, because you really have to come at them at like 90-degree angles, successfully make these turns, otherwise they're not going to be shortcuts. They're actually going to slow you down much more. So either having some kind of item to help you out would be really helpful here, or you just have to learn to brake, take it really slow, but not too slow, obviously, because then you'll be passed by other players. It's a delicate balance, but it is still helpful to know about. Next up, Rooftop Run, I mean Market Street, basically has a travel ring which opens up at the end of lap 3, but getting there is kind of risky because you have to take the rightmost route, which means players are going to pass you since they're taking the optimal route, at least initially. But if you're able to drop down to the leftmost route, then it's going to work out in your favor. Next up is Coral Town. This one is a bit of a maze. Honestly, I just recommend taking the rightmost route for the most part, although there is a really cool skip that you can take. It's kind of like a speedrun tech thing. If you're able to pull this off though, you're going to be in a serious lead. It's incredible. Shout out Mr. Lag. But during lap 3 near the end of the track, there's actually going to be an interesting travel ring shortcut, which is the only travel ring to my understanding in the game so far which actually moves. So sometimes it can be on the rightmost path, and then sometimes it can be on the leftmost path. Just keep that in mind. Didn't see any major shortcuts on Blizzard Valley once again, but this one absolutely showers you with boost wisps, so the amount of opportunities you get to cut through grass, or I guess snow, is really helpful. So Chao Park is really interesting. Near the end of the track, you're going to notice that there is a platform coming out of the side of the leftmost part of the track, and taking that will actually really help you get ahead. But do keep in mind, it's kind of risky. Oh yeah, and technically I guess this counts. I guess I just forgot because of how easy it is to get to. I mean, I feel like you inevitably get there whenever you get to the end of the ramp and start doing tricks to make it over. Now, Radical Highway doesn't have any shortcuts. Well, maybe except for this, but I don't really know if this makes you a lot faster. You might be able to make good use out of it if you take it really quickly. Whenever you play, I absolutely 100% recommend always sticking to the side of the Golden Gate Bridge. So when you get to the end, do not fly off, okay, because that's going to waste so much time from just being up in the air for too long. Make sure you successfully take every single one of the dash pads to get to the end really quickly. Now, Donpa Factory has two shortcuts which are really helpful, and they're both really close together. One is this little offshoot you can see on the left. The pylons there might slow you down, so make sure you have a boost item. Then when you drop down this circular area, you just got to make sure that you watch out for the cars, but if you're able to cut successfully to the left, you'll save a lot of time. Aqua Forest has a lot of different paths, the most obvious shortcut being right here. Before you get to the tree, you can jump up in the air and take these 3 hoops to get you there faster. Near the end of the track, there's also this little ramp which you can take to go up, but honestly, I find that to be a lot slower than just sticking to the left and cutting through the grass. I could be wrong there. Maybe that was just my experience with time trials. There's also another really not well hidden shortcut at all. It's at the end of the first water section. You're going to notice a hoop that takes you into a travel ring. You're never going to miss it. Eggman Expo doesn't have any shortcuts, but I can't stress this enough because I get so many comments about this all the time. Make sure you go through the water sections correctly, and by that I mean don't always hold accelerate down. Seriously, I say this all the time, but if you want to make sharp turns in water sections, do not accelerate. That's only going to make it way harder to turn. Next up, Kronos Island, which to me has a pretty well hidden shortcut, but apparently a lot of people knew about it. I don't know, maybe it's just the mud that was blending in, but near the end of the track, you're going to notice that there's this turn, and right before the turn, there's another quicker turn through the mud area, which if you have a boost item, you'll easily be able to cut through to get to the other side. Next up, you got Northstar Islands. I also made a short about this one because a lot of people weren't sure about how to get the third red ring, I think it was, and you basically just had to make sure that you see the colored bricks in Sky Temple. Just wait until lap 3 for those to lift. Make sure you have a boost item, a monster truck, or anything like that, because there's actually a fall, a bottomless pit below, so you're kind of going to need those, like some kind of RNG at least, to be able to help you get through. And then you get get to the travel ring, and it's a pretty good shortcut. For white space, the Doomorph goo kind of acts as like grass or snow or gravel in this game, so you get slowed down by them. As long as you have a boost item, you can make it across, and I think it's really helpful in this area right here with the ramp. But other than that, man, white space by far has the most like difficult shortcut to ever take. If you can make this, like, you're a CrossWorlds pro, bro. Near the end of the track at the final lap, when you enter the Doom Zone, you're gonna notice these platforms that you need to drift to the right to be able to make. Honestly, I've never been able to make this ever, to be honest. Like, it's really difficult. Just make sure you have an item like a laser or a drill or something, and then yeah, it should help. So that's it for all the shortcuts that I was able to find on the main track. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see a video like this for all the CrossWorlds as well. I'll do some deeper dives and take a look at those tracks a little bit better and make sure that I got every single one of those and try to present them to you in the near future. Drop a like and a sub if this helped you out. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Major shout out to all the channel members, man. You guys are insane. You keep the channel going, and I really, truly, greatly appreciate your generosity. We're growing so fast, it's getting so difficult to keep up with. It's kind of overwhelming, but I wanted to make sure that I highlighted each and every one of you because I couldn't have done any of this without you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all the love and support. If you'd like to become a channel member, be sure to hit that join button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.